The rain fell in cold sheets, drenching Ana de Armas from head to toe. Each drop felt like 1,000 memories crashing against her skin. She stood under a flickering street lamp on a deserted corner, her heart pounding so loudly she was sure the whole world could hear it. The wind howled through the empty streets, carrying with it the distant echo of laughter and applause from tonight's premiere, laughter that now felt hollow. Ana's hands trembled at her sides as she closed her eyes, trying to will the tears to stop, but the sky seemed to weep with her. In that moment, she felt completely alone, as if the rain had washed away every friend, every hope, every dream she once held. A single streetlight cast her long, shaking shadow on the wet pavement, and she wondered if anyone would ever find her here, broken and small beneath the storm. And yet, even in her deepest despair, a tiny spark of something familiar, memory, of kindness, a whispered promise refused to die. It fluttered in her chest like a wounded bird, begging her not to give up. Earlier that evening, Ana had stood on the red carpet in a glittering gown, her smile bright but fragile. Cameras flashed as she waved to adoring fans, but inside her stomach had knotted into tight coils of fear. Critics had praised her performance, but rumors had swirled, suggesting she wasn't ready for the weight of fame. Whispers followed. Her through every corridor, she's too sensitive, she can't handle the pressure, she'll crack. Each word sank into her mind like a stone. When she had heard those voices, she'd forced herself to laugh, to pose for photos, to thank every journalist with practiced grace. But behind the smile, her world trembled. By the time the after-party began, Ana felt the walls closing in. Music thumped too loud, the lights dazzled too bright, and the laughter around her felt like knives. Every compliment tasted like poison, so she slipped away, leaving a trail of unanswered texts and worried glances. As Ana wandered through the maze of city streets, memories of her childhood rushed in. She remembered her mother's gentle hands brushing away tears, telling her that storms would always pass. She remembered long afternoons singing in an empty church, her voice echoing like hope. She remembered the first time someone believed in her, her drama teacher who told her she had a gift. In those moments, Ana had felt unstoppable. But tonight, the weight of expectation crushed that memory, making her feel small and unworthy. She pressed her palms against a cold brick wall, trying to steady herself. The world around her blurred, the rain turning every shape into a ghost. She whispered into the storm, "I'm not strong enough." Her words vanished into the wind. Meanwhile, Keanu Reeves stood at the exit of the awards ballroom, scanning the crowd with quiet concern. He had noticed Ana slip away, her usual spark dimmed beneath the surface. He had seen the way she shook when a stray flash caught her eye, the way her hands clutched her drink as if it might slip through her fingers. Keanu knew what it was to feel lost beneath the weight of the world. He had spent years playing characters who carried heavy burdens, but tonight he saw the real struggle in Ana's eyes. He walked past the velvet ropes and through the sea of admirers without a care for his own image. His mind raced with questions. Had he done something wrong? Had he failed to be there when she needed him? He followed the trail of her perfume. Through the open doors, his heart pounding, back on the street. Ana's legs gave way, and she sank onto the curb, her coat useless against the storm. She hugged her knees, burying her face as she sobbed. The city felt miles away, and every car that passed seemed to mock her pain. She thought about the countless auditions, the sacrifices, the nights she had spent wondering if she would ever be enough. She thought about the voices that told her to toughen up, to stop being so sensitive. She thought about the loneliness that fame brought, the way it stripped away every genuine connection, until all that remained was a hollow shell. "Why am I here?" she cried into the darkness. "Why do I keep trying?" The rain answered with heavy drops, as if the sky itself mourned her sorrow. Keanu rounded the corner and froze when he saw her. She was a small figure draped in shadows and rain, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Something inside him clenched an ache he couldn't name. He took a cautious step forward, then another, until he stood just a few feet away. Ana didn't move. She didn't even lift her head. Keanu's breath caught in his throat as he reached out, but the wind snatched his words away. He closed the distance and knelt beside her, his coat already drenched. "Anna," he whispered, voice gentle. Anna flinched, her tears turning to fresh sobs at the sound of his familiar voice. She pressed her fingers into her ears as if she could shut out the world. Keanu waited, refusing to speak again until she looked at him. After a long moment, she raised her head. Her eyes red-rimmed and weary. The streetlight flickered above them, illuminating the silent exchange. Keanu offered his hand, and Anna stared at it as if it belonged to someone else. His eyes were soft, full of concern, and something deeper respect for her courage. Humility in the face of her pain, belief in her resilience. He didn't judge. He didn't criticize. He just stayed there, a silent promise that she wasn't alone. Anna hesitated, the rain dripping from her lashes onto Keanu's waiting palm. Finally, she reached out and let him pull her to her feet. Her coat hung loosely from her frame, heavy with water and sorrow. Keanu stood close enough that their shoulders touched, but neither spoke. For a moment, the city around them disappeared. The only sound was the rain, the only light the street lamp's glow. Akana's heart hammered in her chest as memories of every lonely moment rushed together. Keanu's presence was a steady anchor, reminding her that even the strongest storms could be weathered. He shifted, his coat slipping from his shoulders and pooling at Anna's feet. She looked up, confusion and gratitude warring in her eyes. Without a word, Keanu slipped out of the coat, holding it open before her. The fabric was warm, his scent still faint on the lapel. Anna's breath caught. She stepped into the coat, the weight settling around her like a shield. She looked up at Keanu, rain dripping from his hair onto his calm face. His eyes held a quiet strength that made something inside her click into place. He opened his mouth, as if to speak, and Anna leaned closer, her heart trembling with hope and fear. Then he said one thing. Keanu's voice was low and steady, cutting through the roar of the rain. "You are not alone." That single line broke something inside Anna. She blinked up at him, unsure if she had heard right. The rain blurred around them, turning the world. Too silver. For a heartbeat, neither of them moved. Then Anna's knees gave way, and she sank back onto the curb, the coat slipping from her shoulders. Keanu caught her before she fell, his arms firm under her arms. He gently eased her down, wrapping the coat around both of them, creating a small island of warmth in the storm. She trembled against him, her tears mixing with the rain, her mind racing with questions. "I don't know how," she whispered, voice cracking. "I don't know how to be someone people believe in." Keanu pulled back slightly, lifting her chin with a fingertip, his eyes searching hers. "You already are," he said softly. "You just forgot." That moment felt endless, the storm pausing to let them breathe. Then Anna closed her eyes and let herself feel the truth in his words. The coat fell away, but the warmth remained. Like a promise etched into her skin, Keanu stood and offered his hand. Anna took it, and he helped her up. She hesitated, shivering, and he tightened his grip. Together they stepped off the curb and into the street. The city's neon lights flashed around them, but everything felt sharper, more alive. Anna's heart pounded not from fear but from something new, hope, as they walked. Keanu guided her toward the back entrance of a nearby diner, its neon sign buzzing in the night. Inside, the air was warmed by years of cooking grease and broken dreams. A lone cook behind the counter stared at them through a cloud of steam, but said nothing. Keanu led Anna to a booth by the window, where the rain slid down the glass in silver. Rivers, they sat close, sharing the coat like a blanket. Anna watched the cook place 2 mugs of hot coffee on the table black. No sugar, just the way she liked it. She wrapped her hands around the mug, feeling the heat seep into her bones. Keanu sipped his coffee, eyes on Anna. "Tell me what's hurting," he said. "I'm here to listen." Anna stared at her mug, studying the way the steam curled into the air. She thought about everything. The critics, the after-party, the loneliness that fame had brought. She thought about the childhood she left behind, the mother who taught her to sing, the teacher who believed in her. She thought about that moment on the stage when she realized everyone was watching, waiting for her to break. She set the mug down and looked at Keanu, her eyes red but clear. "I'm scared," she said. Scared that I'll lose myself if I keep doing this. Scared that no matter how many cameras flash, I'll still be alone. Keanu nodded, as if he had been waiting her whole life to hear those words. Fame can feel like a prison, he said. But it doesn't have to define you. You define you. Anna frowned. How do I keep from losing myself? Keanu reached across the table and took her hand. His fingers were warm. By remembering why you started, he said. By holding on to the things that made you feel alive before the world told you who to be. The rain slowed outside, a soft patter against the windows. Anna closed her eyes and remembered a bright afternoon in a small village church. Her voice, soaring through empty aisles. She remembered the thrill of discovering a new song, the way her feet moved on the stage of her mind. She remembered laughter, simple and pure. I miss that, she whispered. I miss me. Keanu squeezed her hand. Then bring her back, he urged. Let her guide you. Anna opened her eyes, a spark lighting inside. But how? She asked. Keanu smiled, a gentle curve that lit up his face. One step at a time, he said. Start with this moment. You made it through tonight. You let yourself feel. It's brave. Anna laughed softly, a sound that shook away the last of her fear. The cook cleared his throat and placed a slice of cherry pie on the table. Anna looked at it, surprised. The cook shrugged and walked away. Anna looked at Keanu. I don't even like cherry, she said. Keanu winked. You might tonight. They shared the pie in silence, watching the rain fade into a drizzle. The city was waking up. Taxi lights glowed. Distant shouts echoed from alleys. A broken neon sign flickered. Anna felt the world spin, not from fear, but from possibility. She realized that the storm hadn't ended. Hurt had baptized her. In the rain, she had found something worth fighting for herself. Suddenly, the diner door burst open, and two men in dark coats stumbled in, rain dripping from their hats. They carried phones and cameras, their faces half hidden. One of them pointed at Anna and Keanu. That's her, he said. Actress from tonight? The men rushed forward, shouting questions. Anna's heart thudded, panic rising. Keanu placed himself in front of her, folding one arm across her shoulder protectively, the other holding the pie plate like a shield. The men froze, taken aback. Excuse me, Keanu said, voice firm. She doesn't owe you anything. The men exchanged glances. One lowered his camera. We just want to comment, he said. Keanu's gaze didn't waver. She's not a commodity, he said. She's a person. The men hesitated. Anna felt her chest tighten. She looked at Keanu, gratitude shining in her eyes. Found her voice. I appreciate your interest, she said, voice clear. But right now I'm fine. She took a deep breath. Please leave us be. The men stared, then backed away. One muttered something under his breath, and they left, their cameras clicking one last time. The diner fell silent again. Anna turned to Keanu, heart racing. Thank you, she whispered. Keanu shook his head. You did that? He said. You stood up for yourself. Anna stared at him, realizing he was right. She had reclaimed her voice. She had stood tall, even when her knees shook. As they left the diner, the sky was pale with dawn. The rain had stopped, and the world felt new. Anna breathed deeply, filling her lungs with the smell of wet pavement and fresh hope. Keanu draped, his coat around her shoulders again. Where to now? He asked. Anna smiled, the weight in her chest lifting. I don't know, she said, but I know I'm not alone. Keanu nodded, and together they walked into the morning light. A sharp knock jolted Anna awake, her heart thundering in her chest. She blinked against the pale morning light streaming through the curtains of her hotel suite. Keanu stood by the door, holding 2 trays of breakfast toast, eggs, fruit, and steaming mugs of tea. Anna's mind still carried the weight of last night's storm. But the knock had pulled her back into a new day, full of promise and unknown challenges. Keanu set the trays on the low table and offered her a mug. Good morning, he said softly. Anna managed a small smile and wrapped her hands around the warm cup. I'm glad you stayed, she whispered. Keanu's eyes held kindness and respect as he sat beside her. I wouldn't be anywhere else, he replied. After a quiet moment, he shifted. There's something I'd like you to see, he said. Anna frowned, curious. Keanu handed her a simple invitation. A philanthropist. Event at the children's hospital where Anna had once sung for sick kids on her first tour. I thought it might remind you why you sing, he explained. Anna stared at the invitation, her chest tightening. Memories of small, hopeful faces flooded back. She felt fear and joy mingling in her mind. I don't know if I'm ready, she confessed. Keanu took her hand. You're stronger than you think, he said. And you have something no critic can give you, your heart. Anna nodded, determination flickering in her eyes. She changed into a simple dress, and they left together, the morning sun lighting their path. The children's hospital was alive with laughter and tears. Anna entered a playroom with Keanu at her side. Bright paintings covered the walls, and children in colorful blankets played on the floor. A young girl with a thin frame and bright eyes looked up from her toy. Anna felt her breath catch. She remembered being that age, longing for a chance to show what she could do. A nurse guided Anna to a small stage set in the corner. Dave. Been waiting all morning, the nurse said. Anna's knees trembled, but she straightened her spine. She closed her eyes, breathed, and began to sing a song of hope and belonging. Every child's face lit up, and Anna felt tears of joy roll down her cheeks. When she finished, the room erupted in applause. Anna looked at Keanu, and he smiled, pride shining in his eyes. Just then, Anna's phone buzzed in her pocket. She retrieved it to see a headline from a tabloid site. Ana de Armas shoves paparazzi in a rage. The article claimed she lost control and lashed out. Anna's heart sank. She stared at the screen as panic rose. The children's laughter faded into white. Noise? What if they believe it? She whispered to Keanu. His hand tightened around hers. Let's step outside, he said gently. In the courtyard, rain clouds gathered again, as if the world sensed Anna's fear. She paced by a fountain, her breath shallow. Keanu stood beside her, silent until she turned. I can't let them ruin this, she said, voice trembling. I'm not that person. Keanu placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. You'll show them the truth, he said. You'll speak from your heart. Anna nodded, wiping her tears. They slipped into a quiet garden, where flowers bloomed in defiance of gray skies. No? Keanu helped her steady her phone on a bench. Record here, he suggested. Anna faced the lens, her eyes clear and steady. She spoke in simple words. She apologized for any misunderstanding, clarified that she respected every person, thanked her fans for their support, and reaffirmed her commitment to kindness. Her voice quivered, but each word rang true. After she posted the video, Anna sank onto the bench, the weight lifting from her chest. Within minutes, supportive messages poured in. Fans, colleagues, even some critics praised her honesty. Anna read them aloud to Keanu, her smile growing. You see, he said. They heard you. Anna leaned against him, gratitude flooding her heart. As dusk fell, Anna received an unexpected email. Sponsor for the hospital charity had seen her. Video and offered to match every donation made in her name. Anna's breath caught. She realized her vulnerability had opened doors for good. She turned to Keanu, tears of joy in her eyes. This is bigger than me, she said. He nodded. You used your voice to help others, he said. That's the power you feared you lost. That night, Anna stood on the balcony of her suite, watching city lights blink like distant stars. The coat Keanu gave her lay draped over the railing. Soaked from the brief shower, she closed her eyes and felt the cool air on her face, steady and calm. She whispered into the darkness. I am not alone. Keanu stepped beside her, taking her hand. Together, they looked out at the city, unsure of tomorrow, but certain they would face it together. The moment Anna stepped onto the hospital lot, her heart jumped into her throat. She had agreed to film a public service announcement with Keanu, meant to bring attention to the Children's Fund. Cameras rolled, lights blazed, but Anna felt a cold knot of dread tighten in her stomach. She glanced at Keanu, who gave her a steady nod. We can do this, he mouthed. Anna drew in a shaky breath and walked forward. They began with gentle shots, Anna cradling a sick child's hand. Keanu reading stories in the playroom? The crew captured every smile, every hopeful glance. Then the director called for a close-up of Anna speaking about honesty and care. She looked into the lens and spoke from the heart. We owe these children more than words. As she finished, a nurse hurried over, whispering urgently in Anna's ear. Anna's blood ran cold. We need you, the nurse said, eyes darting. There's something you must see. Leading Anna and Keanu through a side corridor, she unlocked a small office. Inside, lockboxes lay open, and rows of medicine bottles were half empty on a dusty shelf. Files were scattered across the desk. Anna's breath caught when she saw pages stamped with the hospital logo and signatures she recognized. Signatures of the funds manager. It's been selling their medicine, the nurse whispered. The money is missing. Kids are not getting what they need. Anna felt bile rise in her throat. She closed her eyes, recalling every smile she had seen today, every tiny hand she held. This can't be real, she murmured. Keanu put a hand on her back. It is, she said. Her voice trembled. We have to do something. Anna gathered the papers, stuffing them into her coat pocket. We need proof, Keanu said, and a plan. They slipped out of the office and returned to the set. Anna's mind raced as she finished her lines on camera, her voice steady even though her heart pounded. When the director cut, Anna whispered, To Keanu, we have to go back. He nodded. Together, they snuck away from the lights and stars, heading back to the hidden office. Keanu snapped pictures of the documents with his phone, careful not to draw attention. Anna copied numbers from ledgers, her hands steady despite the panic flaring in her chest. Suddenly, footsteps echoed in the hallway. Anna and Keanu froze. The door swung open. It was the fund manager, face pale but furious. What are you doing? He barked. Anna stepped forward, voice firm. We know what you've done, she said quietly. The man's eyes darted to Keanu, then back to Anna. You can't prove anything, he hissed. He lunged for the papers in her hand. Keanu moved faster. He blocked the manager's path with one arm and held the phone high with the other.
And we
Have it all, he said. The manager recoiled, his angry mask slipping. Anna felt a surge of strength. She squared her shoulders. These children deserve better, she said. We're going to show the world. The manager backed away, his face drained of color. They left the office hurriedly, adrenaline making their steps quick. Once they reached the bright lights of the set, Anna's legs gave way and she sank onto a folding chair. Keanu knelt beside her. Are you okay? He asked. Anna nodded, breath heavy. I can't believe he did this, she said, tears stinging. Her eyes. Why would someone betray these children? Keanu wrapped an arm around her. Because he cared more about money than people, he said, but we can stop him. Over the next hour, Anna and Keanu met with hospital administrators, showing them the evidence. That quick meeting turned into a full investigation. Cameras from the PSA crew recorded everything by accident but perfectly. When the hospital board arrived, faces grave, Anna stood before them, trembling but resolute. These children need us, she told them. Please, act now. The board members exchanged glances, then nodded. One promised to freeze the managers, accounts, and call the police. As the sun dipped low, painting the sky pink, Anna and Keanu stepped outside. The city felt different now, the weight of injustice lifted by hope. Anna's hand still shook, but this time from triumph, not fear. You were amazing, Keanu said. She looked at him, surprise and relief in her eyes. I was scared, she admitted. Keanu smiled. You faced it anyway. Just then, Anna's phone buzzed with messages. The PSA footage had gone live online. Already, viewers were flooding the comments with praise. Brave, heroic, inspired me to give. This is real kindness. Anna read the words aloud as Keanu listened. They believe in us, she whispered. They believe in me. Keanu pulled her close. That's the power of truth, he said. They watched the sky darken and a single star appear. Anna realized the rain that once felt like darkness had led her to this moment of clear light. She touched Keanu's arm. Thank you for reminding me who I am, she said. Keanu pressed a soft kiss to her forehead. Thank you for letting the world see you, he replied. They walked back into the hospital together, ready to help rebuild. What was broken? Anna felt a steady fire in her chest, no longer fear, but purpose. She understood now that kindness and resilience could shine brightest in the storm's aftermath. And with Keanu by her side, she knew she could face whatever came next. The phone buzzed on Anna's nightstand, its sharp tone ripping her from sleep. She sat up, heart pounding, and grabbed the phone. On the screen was the hospital director's name. She swiped to answer. The director's voice was tight. "Urgent, we have a problem." Just yesterday, the corrupt fund manager was in custody. His smile of betrayal was now gone, replaced by the blank stare of someone who'd lost everything. Anna expected relief. Instead, the director explained, that the manager's lawyer threatened to sue everyone involved for libel and worse, to claim the video evidence was staged. The hospital board hesitated, fearing a costly legal battle. If they backed down, the manager's crew could appeal, dragging the hospital into months of court. Meanwhile, the children would suffer without the matched donations. Anna closed her eyes, the weight of failure pressing down. She pictured the children's hopeful faces, the tiny hands that had clung to hers. She couldn't let them down. She grabbed her coat and rushed out into the dawn light. Keanu was already waiting at her door, tea in hand and concern in his eyes. She explained the threat, her voice shaking. Keanu's jaw clenched. "We won't let them bully us," he said. They drove to the hospital, the city waking around them. At the board meeting, Anna stood before a long table of executives. She felt exposed, every doubt laid bare. The hospital lawyer spoke first, warning of legal costs. Then the manager's lawyer appeared on a video call, voice smooth and cold. "We will see you in court." The room fell silent. Anna felt tears blur her vision, but she steadied herself. "This isn't just about me," she said, voice clear despite her fear. "It's about children who have no voice. If we let fear win, we betray them." Her words echoed down the long room. She felt Keanu's hand brush her back. She took a breath and continued. "We have proof. We have witnesses. We have the truth." She held up her phone, the video of her testimony playing for everyone to see. The photos of the stolen medicine, the ledger entries, each image, a dagger of truth. The board members exchanged glances. Then the director spoke, voice steady. "We stand with Ana de Armas and Keanu Reeves. We will fight this." Relief flooded Anna's chest. She sank into her chair, tears flowing. Keanu slipped her a tissue, and she took it gratefully. "Thank you," she whispered. He smiled gently. That afternoon, Anna and Keanu met with the children in the playroom. They painted murals on the walls, bright suns, rainbows, dancing figures. Children giggled as Keanu delivered perfect stick figures, and Anna laughed when her son looked more like a lopsided circle. The room felt alive again, and a realized joy could bloom even after darkness. News of the hospital stance spread. Supporters from around the world donated to the fund, sending messages of hope. Anna read them aloud to the children. "We believe in you. Stay strong. Thank you for your courage." The kids cheered, and Anna felt her heart grow. This was the power of truth, of standing up for what mattered. But the legal battle loomed. The next morning, Anna and Keanu arrived at a modest courthouse, the sky gray with threat. Cameras flashed. As they walked inside, Na's hand trembled slightly in Keanu's grip. They entered a small hearing room where the manager's lawyer waited, files piled high. The judge called the case, and the room hushed. The lawyer began, voice silk. "These allegations have damaged my client's reputation. We demand an injunction." To remove all content and compensation, Anna's throat felt tight. When it was her turn, she stood and spoke softly, deliberately. "This case isn't for money. It's for the children who trusted us. It's for every voice that goes unheard. If we remove the truth, the children lose their medicine. I cannot allow that." Keanu added his voice, calm but firm. "We acted in good faith, with evidence. This trial is an attempt to silence truth and harm innocent lives." The hearing ended, and the judge took the case under advisement. Anna and Keanu walked out into the cold air, not sure of the outcome. Anna's fear flickered again. What if they lose? But then she saw a nurse who had testified, holding a child's hand. The child waved at Anna, tiny grin bright against pale cheeks. Anna's resolve hardened. No matter what happens, she said to Keanu, we fight for them. Days passed. Anna spent them meeting with lawyers, recording new messages of encouragement for donors, and visiting the children. Keanu never left her side. Each night they returned to her apartment, exhausted but unbroken. They sat together in silence, hands entwined, drawing strength from each other. Anna whispered, I feel so small. Keanu pressed her head to his shoulder. You're the bravest person I know. Finally, the day of the judge's decision arrived. Anna sat in the courtroom with Keanu beside her. The manager's lawyer glowered as the judge spoke. The evidence presented is credible. This court finds no defamation. Injunction is denied. The case is dismissed. Relief shattered the tension. Anna felt tears roll down her cheeks. Judge's words echoed, truth and justice will not be silenced. Outside, reporters swarmed, but Anna turned to the children, waiting in a nearby garden. She called them over and shared the news. The kids cheered, hugging her legs. Anna looked up at Keanu, gratitude shining. He lifted her into a twirling embrace, spinning her until laughter filled the air as the sun set. Painting the sky in gold and purple, Anna stood on the hospital roof with Keanu. They watched the city below, alive with light. Anna slipped her hand into Keanu's. We did it together, she said softly. Keanu kissed her forehead. You did it, he replied. In the glow of that moment, Anna understood that courage was not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. They had saved the children's future and reclaimed their own hearts. In doing so, they discovered that kindness and resilience could move mountains even, the ones built by greed. The first light of dawn crept through Anna's curtains, warming her cheeks as she stirred. Today was different. No stormy nights, no flashing cameras, only the quiet promise of new beginnings. She stretched and sat up, her heart full after the judge's decision. She slipped on the coat Keanu had given her, its familiar weight, a reminder of their journey. In the hallway, Keanu waited with 2 cups of tea. He smiled when he saw her. Good morning, he said softly. Anna took the tea and let its warmth seep into her bones. Good morning, she replied, feeling stronger than she had in months. They shared a quiet moment. The city hushed around them. Their plan for the day was simple: visit the children one last time before Anna left town. She had a flight tonight back to her family home, far from the glare of fame. She and Keanu walked through the hospital corridors, greeted by nurses who smiled and waved. Anna lifted her hand shyly, her heart fluttering at every nod of respect. They arrived in the playroom, which was now bright with new murals and laughter. Children ran to them, calling their names. Anna knelt and hugged them all, tears of joy streaming down her face. Keanu joined in, lifting a giggling toddler into his arms. The room felt alive with hope. Anna stood and addressed the group. Thank you for teaching me what real courage is, she said. You are the true heroes. The children cheered, and Anna felt a lightness she hadn't known possible. After the visit, Anna and Keanu walked into the courtyard. The spring air was crisp, petals swirling at their feet. Anna turned to Keanu, her eyes bright. I never thought I could find peace in all of this, she said. Keanu brushed a stray hair from her face. You carried us through, he said. You gave these children a future. They sat on a bench beneath a blossoming tree. Anna pulled out her phone and opened the charity page. Donations had soared overnight. She scrolled through messages of support and love. Look at this, she whispered. They believe in us. Keanu leaned close, his hand finding hers. We gave them hope, he said. Suddenly, Anna's phone beeped with a new email. She opened it with curious eyes. It was an invitation to speak at a global summit on philanthropy. Organizers had heard her story and wanted her to share her journey. Anna's breath caught. Keanu squeezed her hand. This is your voice's next chapter, he said. Anna nodded, her heart racing with excitement and fear. I'll do it, she said. For them. The next weeks passed in a blur of preparation. Anna practiced her speech in empty rooms, her voice growing stronger each time. Keanu stood by her, offering gentle feedback and quiet encouragement. Together, they crafted a message of kindness, resilience, and truth. Anna realized that her journey was no longer about fame, but about making a difference. The night before the summit, Keanu surprised Anna with a small gathering at a rooftop garden. Fairy lights twinkled above them as friends and supporters toasted to her courage. Anna looked around at familiar faces, nurses, lawyers, children's parents. She felt a rush of gratitude. She stood and raised her glass. To kindness, she said, to truth. Everyone cheered and drank. Keanu wrapped an arm around her shoulder. You did it, he whispered. Anna leaned into him, her heart full. On the day of the summit, Anna stood backstage in a simple dress. The auditorium buzzed with thousands of people. She felt a tremor in her stomach. Keanu appeared at her side, smiling. Ready? He said. Anna took a deep breath and nodded. She stepped into the light. She spoke of rain-soaked nights, of fear that nearly broke her, of the moment Keanu handed her his coat. She spoke of children who taught her true bravery, and of the power of one simple act of kindness. Her voice wavered once, then found strength. The audience sat in rapt silence. When she finished, the hall erupted in applause. Anna stood in the glow of thousands of lights, tears shining on her cheeks afterward. World leaders and activists approached her, offering partnerships and projects. Anna realized her life had changed forever, not for fame, but for purpose. Keanu slipped his hand into hers. This is just the beginning, he said. That evening, Anna and Keanu walked along a quiet beach, the moonlight dancing on the waves. Anna kicked off her shoes and let the water lap at her feet. She looked at Keanu, gratitude deep in her eyes. Thank you for reminding me who I am, she said. Keanu kissed her forehead. Thank you for letting me stand by you, he replied. They watched the stars emerge, each one a promise. Anna felt at peace, no longer the frightened actress alone in the rain, but a woman who had found her voice and used it to change lives. She slipped her hand into Keanu's and smiled.